31.
All right. What you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to hold the camera. Put the camera down.
All right.
All right. You okay?
No, I was just telling my sister I was on live right now with you.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, what we doing?
Okay. See, this is how this is gonna. This is how this is gonna go down. You gonna have to focus on what you're doing. I'm not gonna give you a good noise. Okay. You got a bunch of noise going on. Okay. Nope. You look a little half baked too. No, thank you. All right, ladies. Seriously, shout out to you. Shout out to you. But a lot of times folks just like, I'm taking my shot. But no. This is as much as I may sound like I'm joking. I'm dead ass serious about the topics I talk about. At what age, I'm going to leave it in the chat room, at what age do you think it is time for women to start selling? I'll speak your language, but I'll try. At what age do you think it's time to start selling? Anybody? Anybody? She run across the house, dude. She just said the hell with it. She just said the hell with it. I'm gonna try. Okay. If you're out and about, come back. Somebody said 30, 28, 27. Funny marker. Okay. Yeah, ma'am, if you want to come back in, you need to be in a more quiet place. No problem. See, sometimes folks just be putting stuff on and then they don't expect me to click them. I click whoever's in there. All right. Okay. I'm talking to the ladies today. When I do the guys, you're welcome to come back to you.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
I am well. How old are you?
I'm 32.
32. All right. It's time to give up on a dream?
I feel like it, to be honest with you.
Why?
Because it's like, I just feel like there's no hope at this point.
Well, do you have any children?
No children.
So what do you mean? Do you feel like there's no hope?
Because it just seems like it's so hard. It's hard.
Okay. You're gonna have to give me more than that, though. It seems like it's so hard. Okay.
I mean, because I feel like, in all actuality, to be honest with you, I feel like I'm settling. Because even like I'm dating right now, and I still feel like that. So
I'm always curious to why I hear the word like women settle. What? Okay, not deserve, but what did you expect to get?
I mean, so what I expect to get, I've never been in love before, and I just kind of feel like maybe I wasn't raised, like my mother, didn't teach me how to be like a wife or.
Okay, I get that, but what I'm trying to understand is what did you expect to get?
I mean, I expect to have graduated to college and then find.
No, dear. Okay. From a man. From a relationship. See, one of the problems with women today is you're not clear about what it is you want. And then when you ask, I've asked you 3 times and you're just all over the place. If you can't define it, how can you expect to get it? It'd be like going to the mall saying, I just need some stuff. So tell me why you feel like you'd be settling. You can't even tell us what you expected to get.
I
I'm
mean,
not judging what you expect. I just want to know what you expected.
because ideally, like, I want to have a family. I want to be married. I want to be taken serious, and I want to be able to take somebody else serious. And it just
Why can't
seemed
you get
like,
that? Why can't you get that?
it seemed like every time I try, then I kind of regret it. And it's like I kind of fall short every time.
So is it like competitive
No.
Are you dating men that are boring?
salary?
It's somewhere between competitive and competitive.
Right, and then the number will be.
Oh, can you
See,
hear
one
me?
of the things you'll notice, guys, got,
We can do.
yeah, you need to, yeah, what's going on with your phone?
From the start.
Oh, a number.
What do you mean a number?
It's an actual number.
I can't hear you,
Okay,
Kevin.
we'll try this one more time. All right, you got your phone going all over the place. I can't do this. You got your phone going all over the place. No. But there's something to build on. A lot of times we feel like they're settling, and ladies, you can't even tell us what you thought or expected to get. All women know is it don't feel good. That's what she was really saying. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. Y'all are out here trying to go get a feeling and not a person. And that's not how it works. And we can talk about that. But you can't expect this to be going from feeling to feeling.
Oh, I did not know you was gonna accept it that fast. But hi, Kevin.
Hello, how are you? So you just clicked it, just hoping for me to, what'd you expect?
I expect you to have a long line, and I didn't think I was gonna get it fast.
You want to take the mask off?
Yeah, I did. Is it? I took it off.
Okay, so how old are you?
33.
All right, so I'm asking, are you single or are you married?
I'm single.
All right. Is it time for women, is it time to give up on the dream?
No, it's not time to give up on the dream.
Okay, at what age do you think it's time to give up on the dream?
Probably about maybe 40, 45, if you can't accomplish it in your 30s.
40 or 45 is a big gap. Just give me a specific age.
Okay. For me, about maybe 40.
Okay. When was your last relationship?
Ooh. About 2 or 3 years ago. About 2 years ago.
How long did that last?
Almost 5 years, but I don't count the last 2 because it's off and on. So I would say I would give it about 3.
Do you want children?
I have 1.
Do you want more?
I wouldn't mind more.
No, do you want more?
I do.
Okay. And do you want to be married?
I do.
Okay. So if you say 40 is the age where you think it's time to give up on a dream, what are you doing to make sure you become a wife before age 37?
Working on myself now. All of my flaws all the flaws that I've come to grow past within these years, I'm working on to better them so that I don't do the same mistakes before.
Are you in counseling?
No, not anymore.
Okay. So who's judging your progress?
I am off of experience so far.
Okay, so to me, that sounds like you're doing nothing. You are the person that has been charged to this point. How can you get yourself out of the ditch? If you're failing math, get yourself a passing grade in math.
Your phone, you broke up. You said
If you're failing math, if you're failing trigonometry, geometry, chemistry, how can you get yourself out of failing? How can you get from an F to an A?
you gotta get help. You gotta get help.
Okay, so you said, I asked you, what are you doing? And you said, working on these issues, but you're really not.
But you're saying it's better to get the help so you could properly work on the issues.
Well, you're 33 years old with a child.
Mhm.
You don't have time to go slow.
I don't.
So, I don't understand why women think that they can fix this stuff themselves.
Oh no, you're absolutely right. I don't think to fix it myself, and I don't want to fix it myself.
But you said you were the one in charge. But you said you were working the issue, but you're doing it by yourself.
Yeah, I have to because it's just me and my son right now. And those are, it costs to have those type of assistance and helps. So I have to start, build from the ground up and get it. Not saying that it's not
You see me
required.
keep sagging my shoulders like so. So I mean, I know it costs. Lose sleep, miss a meal.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that it's not going to be accomplishable. It's just, I have to work so I can get things that I need.
How did your child?
He will be 14.
So you got pregnant when you were like 18 or 19? Were you and his father married?
No, we were not.
Is his father in his life? Why did you guys marry?
We were very young when we did, when I got pregnant and stuff. And, we just didn't see eyes. He has a lot of growing up to do. And mentally, where I was, I'm not there anymore. So it just didn't work.
If you don't think it's time to give up the dream, because the dream is the fantasy all women think they should have, what on the scale of, on a percentage chance, what do you think the percentage chance you have to get married?
I think it's about a 50%.
50%. Now, you do understand that 25% of black women are married in their lifetime. So you think your chance is twice as good as the average woman?
It's more so a goal, but yeah.
It's a goal?
It's a goal for me to get accomplished.
It's a hope. I think it's a hope.
It's that too.
So if 1 in 4 black women can expect to marry in their lifetime, you're already 33 with a child, why do you have twice as much of a chance as the average woman?
It's more so of the confidence that I have in myself and what I'm trying to accomplish in my life.
To men, that sounds like delusion.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, you rarely meet a woman who sits back and says, I don't have a shot. I don't want to give up on the dream. You give yourself twice as likelihood of marriage. You're not really doing any work. You can't afford it or time or whatever. So would you bet your life? I mean, would you really? I don't understand why you're so optimistic.
Well, you have to be in life, but
you have to be realistic.
I would rather to be on the positive side of it.
You'd rather be on the realistic side. You got to be on the realistic side because when you're realistic, then you can actually start doing stuff. And at 33, you're not doing anything that's moving the needle forward. You're just getting older. So the power of positivity does not make you pass a class. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, all things being equal, can you really say you're doing anything to move the needle forward towards becoming a wife?
No, well, I can't right now.
Okay, then why not give up on the dream?
It's easy to give up, but, why would you just give up on something? People still get married after their 30s.
See, what I'm trying to get ladies to understand is that if you can't be honest with yourselves, you're not going to get the outcomes. Because a lot of the world will tell you guys to just power of affirmation and believe in yourself and manifest and visualization, but none of that's practical, real world, everyday stuff.
Yeah, it's not. I was gonna go more so as into just like live your life as positively as you can, do the best that you can, and if you do find love in hopes of a marriage, that's
Well,
what
love it. Do you think marriage is about love?
no, it's a partnership. That's just a bonus that you can get
It's a
down the
partnership.
line.
What is your relationship ideal or your relationship model? What is the relationship, the male female relationship that you point to the ideal for you?
Ideal,
What is the model? Like
my
you
expectation.
say, this particular couple is what I would like to be like.
Oh, I will. There's not just one in particular, because every
Give me
couple
one.
has.
Give me one. Give me one.
Give me one. I don't have one that I can think of at the top of my head. I don't really look into other couples like that.
Okay. Who's your feminine role model as a black woman?
Okay. As a black woman, it's my stepmom.
And I mean the public figure. Can't just be your stepmom. Nobody knows.
Public figure. Okay. Well, but she's not married. Halle Berry. Halle Berry is a good actress. I love her.
I said
Kerry
feminine role
Washington.
model. I said feminine role model.
She is a
Femininity.
role model.
Femininity though.
Oh, okay.
The feminine
Okay.
ideal. The feminine ideal. Who's the ideal feminine black woman? Somebody talk about.
Yes. Amanda is awesome. I love how she does her.
Amanda who? Okay, take your hand down from your mouth. Amanda who?
Amanda, I think her name is Sil. No. Yeah.
She's a feminist.
She is a feminist, but I love
What I
her.
want you to understand, audience, is just like the previous one, if you can't even identify it, you can't get it. I'm asking you what's your ideal role model for a couple. You don't have one.
No, the person that is that I didn't.
No, you said there's so many. I said give me one. You said I can't give you one.
I can't, yeah.
Well, then if you can't give me one, you can't tell me there's so many. If there's so many, you can name one.
That I don't know because I don't look at these couples like that.
Then that's the problem. That's the problem. Our women were not taught to look and say, this couple is what you want to be like. And then we all got this independent thing to where I don't be like, yeah, you want to be like somebody.
But I don't like a couple because I don't know what that couple issues are. I don't know what they have.
See, okay, class. This is what I'm telling you. This is why I say you got to give up on hope, man. Because you're getting all off the question. You don't have an idea. Okay, what is the marital standard you're trying to live up to? How about that? To know when it's quote unquote right. How do you know? What are you modeling?
Okay, I see what you're talking about now. You're right. I don't have a model couple figure.
Right. Okay. Well, then if you don't have it's like painting a picture or putting together a puzzle. If you don't have a model or instructions, you just got a bunch of pieces. So I'm going to say, all right, who's your femininity role model? And you say a feminist. Man, those two things alone mean there's no hope. For any woman, a feminist, a black feminist, married?
A feminist cannot be married because she's too strong-minded and one-sided.
Well, at 33, man, if this is the level of thought, and here's another, and no insults intended, but if this is the level of serious thought you have put into this, then it's no wonder you can't find it because you just pick what you like. Just picking what you like, and that's what we told the women in our community. Just pick what you like. So,
Life is hard.
and if you're a man out here looking for a wife, what man wants to sit back and say, well, as my wife, who's your couple role model, couple ideal? Oh, I don't know. Well, then how is he gonna know you're gonna be a good wife? Well, I'm trying to be like this woman. We gotta know what we're getting.
To have an image to look up to.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my point is, I don't, and when I say it's a time to give up hope, give up on the dream, it's about being realistic. And I've just showed in this less than 10 minutes that you're very far away from where you say you want to be. You said give up by 40. You want to be married and have another kid. You got to do that in the next 5 years. And you're very, very far away. And you're doing nothing. You're just not working with a counselor or anything else like that. So it's not about telling women to give up. It's about telling women to get honest and self-aware.
And realistic.
You're home with your happy place.
Right.
Until
You said I give yourself a 50-50 shot.
Use
I give you more or less about a
Defy technology.
5%.
Chip that alternates two complementary scents.
Because you're already a mother with a 4-year-old. You've lived your life as a single mother and as a single
So
woman.
you can always be sure that your home
And
is fresh and
you got a lot. You even have your 20s to yourself. You know how to
Enjoy
survive.
the freshness of Febreze plug-in.
So the likelihood of falling back into a wife, without any model, without any goal, it's kind of like saying, you know, I'm big on this model thing. So I appreciate it though. Anything else before you leave?
Nope. I saw you had posted up what was a good
Okay.
age time.
Appreciate it. Guys, I think it's important to say, what is your relationship model? Who is it? I want you to notice that how often so many of our women, their model, their feminine role model, is based upon their accomplishments.
Hi. You've seen me before.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 30.
Have you been on here before?
I came on, but I was asked to get off the phone because I was at work. So I'm back.
All right. So, you were asked to get off earlier today?
No, the last time I was on with you.
Okay. So, when is the time? Is it time to give up on the fantasy or the dream?
The dream to be married or what?
Yeah, the dream is keeping the dream is the reason you're single right now.
It's never time. I mean, we all have different time in life.
Really? How old
Yeah.
are you again?
30.
What age is the time to give up on the dream?
There's people getting married 60, 80.
No, I'm talking about you.
Me personally, I'm not going to give up because I don't think I'm really trying yet. So
What age do you think you're gonna start trying?
to be honest with you, I'm having my selfish year. So I'm going to give myself probably like 1 to 2 years. Then I'll pursue a relationship or whatever I desire.
You have any kids?
Yes, I have a beautiful daughter. She's 6.
Why do you think it works like that?
Works like what?
You're already a single mother, which is no shot. My mom was a single mother, but talk about your selfish years when you got a kid.
Yeah, one, because
My question is, you said that, I said, Is it time to give up on drinking? Said never give up on drinking. That people get married in their 60s and 80s, which is always this fanciful shit like that. So if your daughter, so listen. So
We all
listen. No. If your daughter didn't study, didn't do her homework, and said, "Well, mom, people pass tests all the time," you can say, "All right, daughter, just live life like that."
I'm not understanding. Did you ask me a question or?
Yeah. Would you allow? Why are you? When are you going to grow up and become a serious woman?
I feel like I'm being serious. I'm taking my life seriously.
But you said you're in your selfish years.
Yeah, I think we
It's
all
your
have.
daughter.
You know, when you're in a relationship, you really can't be selfish because you are constantly having to think about your partner. So at this, at this current moment in my life, and I want to be selfish. I want to worry about me and not have to think about making somebody else happy. You know what I'm
And why
saying?
make a baby?
Why did I make a baby? One, I was young. Two,
You were 24.
yeah.
Weren't you?
So
You weren't young.
I mean, technically, I
Youngest
think
14. Man, youngest 14.
I was engaged. So that was my main reason to do
It
it.
doesn't count for marriage. So don't get combative. Don't get fussy, because you say you want to be selfish, and I'm just sitting here listening. I'm like, you're a mother.
Yeah, selfish for my daughter. Reason
No, you
two.
haven't said for your daughter. You
For the
said no, you don't, man. Man, I hear very well. I hear very well. And you only brought your daughter up when I called it out.
It's for both of us.
Of course it is. So how's doing dicks gonna help your daughter?
Doing dicks. Who's doing dicks?
Being selfish, doing your own life. I mean,
That's
what are you doing in your single years? What are you doing in your single years is gonna help you become a wife?
work on myself. Work on what my priorities, my goals, my whatever.
My. Johnny Gill ass. Me. Who listen to this selfishness? A
Yeah,
wife?
I'm proud. I'm proud. If you want to say I'm being selfish, okay, I'm finally being selfish. I was.
Good. Die alone. You can be proud and die alone. That's cool, man. We're
Oh,
honestly.
not.
I'm more happy with women like you who are loud and proud, so we can identify you, so guys can just learn to just say congratulate you, live in your truth and your power.
I will not die. I will guarantee you that.
Of course not. Of course not. You're all gonna get married to high value men and have solid old children and travel and drive Mercedes and have personal chefs and all this other stuff. Of course, it's all gonna happen. Mm-hmm. That's what you've been told. That's why, and I'll be honest, that's why at 30 years old, you have such a defiant attitude. Your attitude's kind of trash regarding relationships.
Okay.
Relationships, man. Relationships. I didn't say periods. It's kind of trash regarding relationships. Because apparently to you, relationships hinder you from being selfish. But I got news for you. An average man provides a woman options. A man of value provides a woman freedom. You can't be selfish as a single mama. You got to do what you got to do.
Okay. That's a fact.
I know. So why you'd rather be? We have deified being a single mother when that shit is hard.
That's exactly why I have to be selfish because I don't have time to
No,
have that.
you don't have to. Being selfish doesn't get you a man. Doesn't get you a husband.
Looking for a man right now. I think I'm content with.
I want you to understand. See, this is what I mean. So you are prepared. Well, that's fine. That's why I'm glad to do these things because they think it's a game.
Here, what's your?
Did you go to college? Did you go to college?
Yes. I actually went to.
You're breaking. What's your degree in?
I didn't graduate college.
Oh, okay. What was your profession?
I was in school for nursing.
What is your profession?
I'm in the airline industry.
So you're a flight attendant?
Yes. And next.
You're a sky waitress. Shout out to the sky waitresses. Not really a not a good profession for a single mother. But see, I want you guys to understand that she fits in that kind of creative area, and you find a lot of women who are hairstylists and flight attendants because they can fly places but you say you're gonna do it for 2 more years and then you're gonna decide to find a husband or decide to be in a relationship. Do you want any more kids one day?
Oh yeah, I definitely want.
How many more?
Probably like two more.
When I'm assuming you want to have kids in the context of a marriage, or do you care?
Yeah, probably yeah. That's exactly what I wanted to wait for. So,
Okay. So when you're married and pregnant with the next child, do you want to have to work to pay significant bills?
no.
Okay. Then after you have your 2 other kids and your 1 kid, what percentage of the overall family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for an entire lifetime? I mean, if you don't provide it's not there.
I feel like it would be like old style parenting, like so maybe like the groceries or just like stuff like
Or in
that.
other words, less than 10%,
Correct.
less than 5%, like the groceries. So groceries, so you really don't have, I'm not judging, man, but groceries you don't really want to have to provide any real money. That's fine, 5-10%.
Oh, I saw my parents do it. The man took care of mostly everything. Whatever. Even though she made a decent amount of money, she made over 6 figures. All she did was
Your mother married your father?
yes,
Are they still married?
yes.
Okay, you're not your mom. You're an independent modern woman, and you want to be a housewife.
Yes.
Ain't gonna happen. Because the kind of men that make the kind of money to be able to afford 3 kids and a lifestyle, $200 some odd $1,000 ain't gonna put up with this attitude. I'm not gonna put up a modern woman. They're not going to put up. What I'm saying is the kind of men that can afford family of 3 in a middle class, upper middle class lifestyle aren't putting up with modern women. They want traditional feminine women who they're not selfish. They are selfless. They put themselves last.
But I
They
feel
put
like
the man first and their family second.
that was me for about 8 years. So
Doesn't matter. And they want a woman that's like that in all things at all times. They don't want a woman who goes through the selfish phase. Matter of fact, when they find a woman who are like you, they say she's a chameleon and they'll hit the skins and they'll leave. They don't marry her. They run a background check. And as soon as they find an independent streak, you're not in wife category. We're talking about men who you're talking about you only want to pay for groceries. So a man's gonna have to make well over 6 figures to have $1.5 million in kids. And you can have, you got this little smirk like, it's not a game. I'm doing this so other women can hear. I'm doing this so other women can hear how crazy this sounds.
I'm listening.
No, there's nothing else to be said. You've said plenty up. You're in selfish phase. And there's nothing out there that you're doing that's going to be of value to a husband.
I think it is. Me being selfish will prepare me in order with that right man, I will be in the space in order to give him like 100% me. At this moment, I cannot give no man not even 50% of me right now because I'm not even thinking about a man. You know what I'm saying? So in all honesty, when it comes down to like, let's say if a year or 2 years from now, when I'm in the right state of mind, in order to, be able to have a relationship with no walls and whatnot, then I'll be able to give myself like that.
Okay, so let me ask you 2 questions. If a man who can meet your standards,
Uh-huh.
he can meet a whole lot of other women's standards.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Why would he pick you a woman who has to go on this selfish journey and all sorts of stuff. Why would he not pick a woman who's already in her feminine and not wavering, did not have to go through anything? She's just ready to go.
Okay, he can pick the other.
Hold on, listen, and no child.
Badly, he can pick the.
Listen, I think you need to understand, the kind of men you're looking for are very rare. Women aren't rare. Cute isn't rare. What you have to offer the market, which is men, is in abundance. So the person who is rare has to pick. He can only pick one wife. Why would he pick a wife that was in this position when he can pick a woman who just has her mind right from the jump?
Okay, so when I'm thinking about my future husband, I'm thinking he's destined for me. So
Yeah.
I'm not thinking, oh,
Where'd you get that belief at? Where'd you get that belief from?
where did I get that belief? I believe in, what is it? Law of attraction. You know, I don't know. I just believe that my husband is my husband, right? So if I have that mentality, okay, this man is going to be my husband. This man is going to be my husband. No, my husband will find me.
So how many men are there for you?
How many men? I've been in one serious relationship, so I don't know.
I mean, I'm just asking because you mentioned destiny. So, is there only one man that's destined for you?
Honestly, yeah.
Okay, then if that's the case, why do you have another man's child?
Because at one point in time, that one man was.
No. Think about what you just said. If you're his, then you should. If he's yours, then you should be his. And if that's the case, you shouldn't have another man's child.
You know, yeah. So
Just think about the logic. Just think. Don't get defensive. Just think about the logic. If you guys are destined to be with one another, that means you should be only for him. That means your womb should only be for him.
That's correct, and that was my mistake for having. I can't say my.
Or there is no such thing as somebody that's destined to be with you. It's a choice. That is Disney fantasy that's been marketed to the women in the West to sell you Valentine's Day cards and engagement. This is a new creation. And my question to you is, if your mother and father were married, and they're still married, did they not model what a healthy, functioning marital relationship was to look like?
I mean, I don't think that marriage is perfect, but they did definitely model what marriage is. You know.
So do you want to have what they had?
I would say yeah.
So so if you were to look in the public, what would be your relationship ideal role model? Your relationship ideal model? What couple do you say that's who you want it to be like?
Honestly, I would say a man like Russell Wilson. So, you know, but.
And if I asked you is your black femininity ideal? Who is that public figure?
Who's my ideal public figure? I honestly would say Beyonce.
Femininity. Beyonce? Makes sense. Makes sense. It makes sense because the only way your world will work is if you're Sierra. And you wanted Russell Wilson. The thing is, this has been invaluable because there's so many women like you who just think, well, how can I say this? You can believe what you want. You can live in your truth. But here's the thing. The likelihood of you getting Sierra's prayer, you have a better chance of hitting the lottery, especially for a provider male. And the man that would be better suited for you, he's probably better off without you. And I mean this way because you're selfish. A wife doesn't have a selfish streak. Are you an only child?
No.
Okay. So, and I don't mean any insult by this, but seriously, have you ever had any therapy?
No.
Have you ever considered it?
Oh yeah, I think I have just recently.
I think you should look into it. I think you should look into it because what you're saying, man, may feel like it's protecting you, but it's very unhealthy. Very unhealthy. Relationships are about, life is about people. When I know you're on Instagram, you got to protect your ego and say certain things because you want to maintain self, but it's not healthy. You can't live this way. Not especially get the outcomes you're talking about, because there's not one person that's destined for you. You choose somebody. Life ain't about love. Your marriage ain't about love. It's about an agreement. And my question is, do you have what it takes to go 30, do you have what it takes to go 40 years with somebody?
Yeah, if I'm married, yeah, of course, you know, but if I'm not, you know, just like my last situation, like, you know, 8 years down the road for nothing, you know what I'm saying? So
But you could have married that person.
I don't have time
You
to,
could have married that person.
you know, some men are selfish. So,
Well, you're a selfish woman, never been perfect.
I plead the fifth on this one.
Right. Don't blame it on the men. You picked it. We are what we attract. So last question. All right, because let's just say your right person doesn't show up for whatever reason. What does life look like at 55 years old socially for you if you're unmarried?
If I'm unmarried, I hope to have friends who are also, and just live life, enjoy life for what it is.
Okay. What state do you live in?
Washington, D.C.
Okay. Will you have your $2.2 million you'll need to retire on at age 65 to live from 65 to 85 as a flight attendant?
I'm hoping to do more than that, but yeah.
How are you hoping to do that on the flight attendant side?
I don't plan to just stay here, so I have my own plans and agenda. So,
What profession do you plan on? What profession do you plan on pursuing that's going to give you that kind of income and investment savings?
That's my personal.
No, man. You can just tell us. You don't have to give us the exact plan. Just the profession.
Honesty, a real estate plan. So,
Really?
yes. So, I mean, it's not just me, but yeah. You can laugh all you want, but that's.
Oh my God! Damn it! Can't make this shit up.
Okay.
God. I'm laughing because I did. Have you watched this since the beginning?
It's funny
Have you
how.
watched this since the beginning? Man, stop. Have you been watching this since the beginning?
I can say here and there.
God damn it. This is where you come from. Undefeated. I told you. The realtor. Here she is. Extrovert. Attention seeking.
I don't see what's.
Hopeful. Optimistic.
I really don't see
Always
this.
trying to high value men. Oh God. God damn it. God damn it. God.
I'm missing the joke, so please fill me in.
You watch the replay. Watch the replay. I've talked about the 7 or 8 archetypes of women, and today we're talking about the realtor. And I went down and said who the realtor is, how she thinks, how she moves, and man, you nailed it to a T. You nailed it to a goddamn T. And I see you every day.
Oh, you're funny.
No, you're common. This is a common mindset, and I'm not trying to insult you. I'm trying to let you know that you have a choice at 30 years old. But if you don't get some help to get out of whatever's in your mind that's making you on this selfish thing, because whatever it is, it's some fear, scarcity, and like some hurt, some something's there. Because this is the normal for a female to be so, and you can't fix it yourself. So have a good day, though.
You too.
All right, bye. Oh, God damn. Woo. Boy. And people are like, who's he? Who qualifies you to talk about this? Who makes you? Well, who do you get to pick? That's why. I know y'all. I know you, 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 I know you. And if I know you, maybe, just maybe, I can tell you some things about yourself that you may not see. I need you to understand that it's not common for women to be so that dumb. You know, oh, I'm just selfish. You can't be selfish. Nobody wants a selfish wife. But, you know, what has this world told women? Hey, be this way. It'll help you get what you want. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're, what we kind of got, nope, not gonna pull you in here. I don't see who you are. So, guys, I mean, is there a hope for somebody like that? Sure. Sure, there's hope for almost anybody who's willing to accept the fact that, you know, to stop, not, she gets some therapy, check that ego, deal with the hurt. Hurt mask, you know, there are a lot of women walking around with a lot of egotistical out there, but there's a lot of hurt. Hello.
Hey,
How old are you?
23.
Okay. So, do you know what we're talking about tonight?
Yeah.
All right, I need you to go ahead and keep the camera steady. Can't have it all over the place.
My bad.
So what do you got?
What you mean?
What do you have to say on the topic?
Really, I was just like seeing you saying like, you know, different type of women, so I would want you to like tell me about my.
Y'all got to come in with a little bit more on it than that. You don't have time to read your mind and everything else. Come on. Hit me. Hit me. Tell me what it is. All right, this lady keeps popping back in. Are you trying to get in here or not? Hello?
Hey, Mr. Samuels.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry about earlier. I was at dinner and I didn't expect you to pick me.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so your question earlier was, do I think it's time to give up?
Give up the dream. Mm-hmm.
Give up a dream? I don't think so. I don't think a person should ever give up on a dream because it may not manifest in your timing. So I think that a person should just stay consistent and then things will happen in divine order.
How old are you? How old are you? How old are you?
29.
Where? Are you a Christian?
I'm a believer.
Okay. So where's all this manifest in divine order coming from? Where does that come from?
So Mr. Samuel, that comes from my experience. So, I mean, I get what you're.
You don't have to call me. You can call me Kevin. You can call me Kevin. It's fine.
Okay. So, Kevin, I get why you're asking me about like the Christian belief because typically Christians would say, you know, there's power in the tongue and.
No, what I'm saying is this manifest and divine order, divine divinity is a higher spiritual power. See, those words sound, they tickle your ears and they feel good to your ego, but where is it coming from?
Well, I do have a Christian foundation, so I was born and raised Christian. Yes, sir.
Okay, but I was raised in a Christian church, and there was no talking about manifestation. There was talk about work. Faith without works is dead.
I agree.
So, but do you though? Because you said you don't believe a person should give up on a dream. So you don't think a person should ever give up on a dream?
Wait, well, so back to what you said, yes, sir. So I feel that if a person is, like I said, if they're being consistent, then I feel like whatever their goal is, I feel that they should receive the results. If you're
Tell me
being
what you,
consistent,
okay, don't tell me what you feel. Tell me what you think.
what I think. So from my experience, with the goals that I had set for myself, I failed. Some goals I just didn't follow through with because I was inconsistent, or I didn't.
Okay, well, if I wanted to have a goal of playing in the NBA, it's my dream to be in the NBA.
Okay.
I could get there.
I think that I believe if you put the work in,
I need
you'll
you to be
find your-
right, ma'am. See, this is don't do typical. Need to be right. Don't diminish yourself like that. Don't do that in front of millions of people. Do you think I can get to the NBA, ma'am? Tell me what. Did you go to college?
Yes, sir. Well, I guess I have that belief because
No, ma'am. No, did you go to college?
Yes, sir.
Did you complete it?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to call me sir. You don't have to call me sir. But
Okay.
out of 53, tell me that I could make it to the NBA if I continue to be consistent.
Okay, at 53, no.
Okay, so there is a point in time where logic kicks in. Why is that so hard? Why is that so hard to admit?
I guess.
I'm 53 years old. You see this gray in my beard, and you went all the way around the world to know. And this is why men say y'all are delusional, because y'all will sit there and be looking at the truth right in front of you, but you won't acknowledge it. Why do you need to believe so hard that if you just focus, why do you need to believe that your dreams will come true?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Why do you need to believe this? Why do you need to believe this?
Why do I need to believe that my dreams will come true? Well, I need to believe it myself in order for it to happen.
What's the difference between dream and fantasy?
Dream and fantasy. A dream is something that may not come true, and a dream is something that there's a possibility.
No, I need it more concrete.
A fantasy is something that a person would I don't know, actually.
You don't know the definition?
I don't know the difference between a dream and fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I think people use those
The activity of
interchangeably.
imagining things, especially things that are impossible or improbable. So it's imagining things that are impossible or improbable. That's a fantasy.
Okay.
Many today's dreams are really fantasies called dreams.
Gotcha.
You telling me that I could get to the NFL would be a fantasy. It's very improbable. So the difference is the probability. At what point do you think the numbers dictate you should give up on a dream because it becomes a fantasy? Out of 100%.
Out of 100%.
Out of 100%, if you say, okay, I got a 90% chance or a 95% chance, but 80% chance, but when it's below this, it's enough for me to give up on. What is that number?
I would say okay, well I feel like it depends on the situation, but if I could pick an age, I would say in the late 50s. Late 50s.
50? So, okay. So, what we're talking about is women giving up on this fantasy man. At what point do you think a woman should accept the man that's in front of her, the average boring guy,
depends because I want to say, but I know a lot of 50-year-old women that
I'm not just talking about 50-year-old men. I'm not talking about 50-year-old. I'm just talking about women in general. At what age do you? Okay. The problem is, Black women in particular, y'all are already marrying at a 1 in 4 rate, and that's with the baby boomers and Gen X. You're 30, how old? 29?
29.
Millennials, y'all are marrying at less than a 20% rate. And if you watch my show, you'll see that most women want the same kind of man.
I do.
You all can't have him.
You're right.
So when do you accept the fact that when should a woman who's average accept an average man?
35.
Why should she not accept him at 22 with her average ass? Why should she wait till 35? Is she gonna become less average? Or is she gonna become more average as she ages?
More average. I'm that. I get where you're going with this with the man. I get it now. I was listening earlier. I had so much to say. I get where you're going.
Yeah, logic is a bitch.
I get it. And I'm laughing so hard because I was like, I can't wait to get on there because I have this point and that point. But I get what you're saying because I feel like for myself, I'm 9 years old. I have no children. You know, I'm single. I was a teacher. I have like a head on my shoulders, right? And I feel like a little of me, I don't want to settle, but a little bit of me feels as if I'm waiting on this fantasy guy.
Well, let ask yourself a question. You don't have any children?
No, sir.
Okay, you don't have to call me sir. But you think about the man that could meet your standard, the man that does it for you. Woo! Okay, but you need to ask yourself, if he can meet your high standard, he can meet a lot of women's standards.
I know.
Then he can only pick one.
You're right.
What happens to the rest if he doesn't pick? Wait for another diamond? That's why I'm laughing. At 29, at what age do you just tell a woman to say, you know, stop trying to get something that's out of your range?
You're right. You're absolutely right.
I know I'm right, but why is it that women seem to be so repulsed by this idea?
I don't know, and I can tell you, that's a little bit, that's my reality. But I have the logic in the back of my mind. I'm still maneuvering through life.
What'd you go to college for?
I'm sorry?
What'd you go to college for?
So I majored in sociology, but don't do that. Samuel, Mr. Samuel, give me a break.
No, it's one of them trash ass degrees. If you didn't go to, you know what I'm going to say.
I know what you're going to say.
What's your profession?
I'm a teacher.
Okay, so your non-Black teacher counterparts, are they married?
Yes.
Your Black teacher counterparts, are they single?
The older one, yes. Yes.
Because you cannot make a living on a teacher's salary.
Which is why I've made a transition into IT at March, right?
How about you make a transition into hubby?
You're right.
I want you to understand that you had a profession where you were teaching other people's children. But instead, you did exactly what the world told you, to go and become a man, to go make more money. Is that going to change your marital prospects?
No, I don't think it's going to change that, Mr. Samuel. I just feel like you said, I watch your often. I'm able to take care of myself just in case I don't meet that guy. Like I want to take care of myself.
What do you mean that guy? You're just not that guy, a guy.
A guy.
Okay, here. An average man gives you options. When you have the flu, you got to take care of yourself right now. When you have the flu and you got an average $21 an hour man in the house, he can take care of you.
You're
You
right.
also got another extended family and cousins and everything else. An above average man gives you freedom. A job gives you money and not a lot of it. And it can't replace a man. No amount of money can replace somebody giving you a thermometer and some juice.
So wait, Mr. Samuel, it's not that I'm in a relationship, and I'm not like this girl that wants this high value man, right? I'm not that girl. I think it's easy done. Like, I watch your show often. Like, hard to find like a regular guy my age that has similar core. Like, it's rare.
What state are you in?
I'm in Florida. I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Well, first of all, you said your non-black counterparts who are teachers don't seem to have a problem finding me. So 54% of black men are single and childless, 61% in the middle class. There are plenty of average men out there looking for wives. Because y'all say they marry white women and Hispanic women and everything, if they can marry them, they can marry you. Are you looking for an average man? No.
I think no, Mr. Samuel, listen. I think that my standards are real. Absolutely. I think realistic with you.
You think your standards are realistic? You said your standards?
Yes, sir. I really believe that. I don't think I'm looking for anything that's just so extreme. Like, what
Okay.
I'm
How many kids would you like to have?
I'm open, whatever God bless me to have, fine, but I can take care
I
of
know you
it.
need a God thing. How many kids do you want to have?
I would say 3.
3. When you're married and pregnant with the first child, do you want to have to work when you're pregnant?
If our circumstance
Ma'am, I asked when you're married and pregnant,
no, sir.
you want to have to work. You don't. When you have your 3rd child, do you want to, what percentage of the family financial bills do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime with 3 kids? Meaning if you don't make the money, it's not there. What percentage?
I would like to contribute to the household. I don't know how to answer that. 'Cause
I said, okay, do you want your children to be able to go to college if they want to?
Yes, sir.
So you want to be able to pay for that. Would you like to be able to travel domestically and internationally with the family?
Both.
Okay. All right. What kind of household income do you think you're going to need to have 3 children and an upper middle class, lower upper class lifestyle? What kind of annual income?
I would say definitely not teacher salary.
No.
I know that. So
Man, if you're in Florida, it's been $325,000 on the low end.
say it again, Mrs.
$300,000. You want $1.5 million in kids. So yes, man, you do want a high value man. You want a man who is making over 6 figures, well over 6 figures. As soon as you said, I don't want to have to work to pay significant bills after I'm pregnant, that is a luxury reserved for the top 10% of women. You don't want to have to, you may want to homeschool your kids, but you don't want to have to go punch a clock. You want your kids to have college. That means you got to pay for the home, the retirement, and then have surplus to pay for the kids' college. Then have surplus to travel internationally. Man, that's a rich man. And the first thing you said, I can't find a man my age. What kind of man your age is making that kind of money? Men don't start making that money till around 45 to 55. Your husband at that level is in his 40s. Do you want to date a man? Do you want to marry a man who's 45 plus?
I don't mind. Like I said, Mrs. Tim,
But then why are you looking for men your age?
I guess because I've dated and I feel that I should be lively. You know what I mean? Like,
You say live? When you say lively?
yeah, I feel just because sometimes you get to older men and they just want to go to the cigar lounge or go golfing or.
Yeah, it's called being responsible.
But
So
Mrs.
responsible? No, it's open. What did I say last night? I told you, modern women need to give up, need to cancel HBO. Happiness, they need to stop worrying about being bored and stop being overly optimistic. Life is boring, sweetheart. See, what y'all want is you want men who are in the top 3% of all earners. You want them to be physically attractive, good in bed. You want them to be around your age, and then you want them to live an exciting life.
Mrs. Samuels, can I just intro quickly? I'm not saying that we have to go to the club and get a section. He has to shop free. I'm not saying that. The thing is, I want to be able to do things that are fun. I mean,
Chick, it's called pay the light bill. That's what's fun. Fuck fun. You're almost 30 years old talking like a teenager. And this is why, no, stop. And this is why I'm gonna start getting hardcore. You should be out of that phase. Stop. You should be out of that phase in life. You should have been out of that phase by 23. It's over.
It's over.
It's been over. Your colleagues are not going to the club on the weekend. They got princess birthday parties.
I understand. I wasn't saying that was my interest. I was just saying that I just want. Sometimes if you date a younger guy, they're on the other end of the spectrum, and they're far on the other.
Dating younger guys is stupid for a woman that wants a family. All you can do is have sex and party with these dudes.
Exactly. So I guess.
But you're judging a relationship based on fun, man. This is part of the problem in black men. Black women, you want it all.
I know. And
this is why. And it sounds. When you say you don't want a high value man, you want an elite high value man, and then you want to have fun, man. This is what you just said.
You make it sound so.
I'm not making this. It is bad. It is bad because at 29 years old, you have wasted the last 6 years dating age-inappropriate men and picking the wrong things. Pick the boring guy. Pick the stable guy. Why do you think life is supposed to? You are supposed to be his entertainment. He's not supposed to be. That's what I said last night. You might as well have a joystick hanging off your dick. He's supposed to be that video game. We're supposed to keep you entertained. We're not your fucking entertainment. You're our wife.
Okay.
You're my motherfucking entertainment.
No, I understand. I promise you, I get it. And I understand. That's the.
You say it now because you know I'm old enough and can call those shots. But the man who can really tell you this, you ain't trying to hear that shit from. A 32 or 33-year-old man should be able to tell you to fucking dance, and you should say, "What the fuck, man?" I mean, why do you think about it? You seem to be a pleasant woman, but don't you notice there's something wrong when you see all your non-black colleagues who are teachers married and the black woman single as fuck?
Listen, I think about it all the time. I'm like, because I was an English teacher, and I'm like, in my department, I'm the youngest one. I got a nice shade, you know, and I see the other women. I'm like,
what'd you do this weekend? What'd you do last weekend? What'd you do last weekend?
I went to the Maxwell Conference in Atlanta.
What'd you do the weekend before that?
So I just graduated the IT program. I celebrated at the Maxwell concert. So the week prior, I was going to concert.
I was in Miami a week before last, and I saw so many black women over 25 celebrating spring break. Y'all need to grow up. All y'all need to grow up because here's the reality. Here's a hardcore reality.
It is what?
Get your RTO, do whatever. But then when there's a man who's making above average money, decent money, but not rich, he's making $50,000, $60,000, and he's looking for a wife. Would you be upset if he decided to go get a non-black woman and start a family? Because the women, you and your friends y'all ain't there yet.
Mr. Sanders.
And he can't. And here's the thing. And he can't wait. and he can't go searching around to find another one. He needs to go ahead and start a family. Would you be supportive of saying, black man, get you a white woman?
To my core, I wouldn't feel that way. I don't want our brothers to do that, right? But I do feel like.
Then how do we get anywhere with women like you?
Mrs. Darius, don't say it like that.
Ma'am, I have to say it like that for the men.
You're right.
Y'all need to start thinking this. I mean, you don't know what you don't want to say for. You don't want to say it for the black women. You're not worried about the black race. You're worried about black women. The race will continue if we have wives. It won't continue if y'all don't get married and make families. So when the men are ready to look for wives, and you and women like you are at the Maxwell concert in the school, do that. But then you have to support that black man marrying a white woman. You better throw him a Tupperware party, a bridal shower. You better, and then when he comes to school with his kids, you better teach him just like, hey, how you doing, little Timmy, or little white girl named Keisha, and you better be just as nice to her. Yeah.
Mrs. Samuels, I want to tell you this. I don't know if the call's going to go short, but when I tell you, I didn't have to support it at a young age, right? So when I tell you when your came out, it's like the harsh reality. I listened to it. I was in the restaurant, and I'm like, I gotta hear. And what's that time? It makes money, but it's necessary. It really is necessary. So I thank you for, tonight. I feel like that fantasy piece, I need to kind of drip out of my brain and settle in.
You're breaking in and out. But y'all need to start really, I mean, this is one little piece, but I'm telling you, millennials and zennial men, they're not waiting. We live shorter than y'all. We don't have time to wait. So, all right, have a good one. Going back in. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I mean, see, that's why I want you guys to understand. A lot of these women they're not doing this stuff maliciously. They're just going on the program they've been given. And the thing is like, well, no, I don't want the race to die. Well, damn, what do you want us to do? What you want us to do? We can try one more. Love is all we need. I'm saying. Let's see. We shall see. How are we supposed to get anywhere?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
32.
All right. So, is it time to give up on the fantasy or the dream of this ideal man?
Yes. I think I gave up on that around 22.
Okay. Are you single or are you married?
I'm single, divorced 2020 December.
How many kids? Any kids?
Yes, 2.
You said you got divorced in 2020?
Yes.
Was it for irreconcilable differences?
Yes, my husband, he was 4 years younger than I am. He just kind of decided once we had a son, have a daughter prior to him. I met him when she was 3 years old, so him and I kind of dated that whole time we got married. But once we had our son, he kind of just was like the responsibility, of having a family, being a husband. He just kind of told me one day, I don't want to do it. Our son was 4 months old, and he just said it's not for him. He wants to be a bachelor, so that's life kind of living, and I just accepted it.
So was he paying child support?
Yes, he is.
So this is why I tell women, stop marrying younger men. I don't know why y'all think y'all should not be getting with younger men.
Yeah.
So, okay, so did you hear the last song where I was talking to you?
Yes, I did.
Why do you think women are so disgusted by the notion of settling for average men?
I think a lot of it has to do with lack of structure and upbringing, potentially, childhood stuff. So maybe we don't have that model. So social media, the TV kind of raises us. It tells us this is harming and this is what you look for.
Mm-hmm.
The music, I mean, because I was influenced by the stuff as a young woman. So I think, definitely watching your content has shifted my mindset. While I was going through my divorce, I picked up on your. It just kind of, and I've kind of always had that wife mindset, but I've just kind of think about me going to therapy, done that healing. Actually, when I date a man, it's there's nothing else.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Hi,
How old are you?
I'm 34.
34. We're talking about, are you single or are you married?
I'm single.
Any kids?
Yes, 2 boys.
So we're talking about, is it time to give up on this notion of an ideal or a dream guy?
It's so funny because I'm kind of like the last young lady that was on here. When I first started hearing your content, I was just like, I showed it to my mom, I showed it to her friends. I was like, y'all gotta and I'm the type of person where as long as I can understand, then I can kind of get with it. And it seems like more and more I'm really starting to get where you're coming from as far as, kind of us thinking we're special and not wanting to settle and stuff like that. And then not really believing we're modern women and so on and so forth. And so it's just like.
Hold on, hey, Tanisha, you need to get in the light. I can't see you.
Yeah, I am. I'm moving now.
So is it time to give up on the dream guy?
Yes, it is.
Okay, but you didn't say that. You said a lot, but you didn't say yes or no.
Me?
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I would have to say yes.
Why do you think? Okay, you're 34, right?
Yes.
2 kids. How old is your oldest?
15.
From a man's standpoint, why would you say you hate to say it when men think like this? The man you lost your virginity to was your first husband. That's how men think. If you got 2 kids, are they by different men?
No, the same.
Okay, the man you had a child with is your second husband. So you already were married with 2 kids. Now, in a lot of men's minds, why would a woman, not you, but a woman like in that, get a dream guy? Why is this an average guy not the dream?
I think society has just made us feel like life is a fairy tale. I have been told that a lot, like in relationships and by people that I think life is a fairy tale. And I used to just feel like it's not that I just think it's gonna be all sunshines and rainbows and the picket
Have you ever lived with
fence and
anybody?
the dog. Have I ever lived with a man?
Hmm?
Yes.
Did he pay bills?
Yes.
Did you have to work with him?
Did I have to work?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, we both.
Was it easier to live with somebody who was splitting bills?
Yeah, as far as the bills wise, but I think we don't choose right as women also.
So you don't choose the boring guy. You don't choose the boring, stable guy.
I mean, because honestly, I have my child's father is, my children's father is, like, I guess you could say, the boring guy, but it wasn't the boring part that bothers me, because I don't mind being bored or being.
What bothers you?
In the black community, we have a lot of problems and
I don't understand. Give me an example of what bothers you.
It's just like people's attitude and just like
His attitude?
Both of ours. I'm
Okay.
not going to just say his.
All right,
It's
all
mine
right.
too.
But typically, when we get in a relationship, especially with the one we have kids with, we ain't coming with attitude. We're trying to have peace in our house. And I'm gonna tell you right now, ma'am, I know you come in there with plenty of attitude. You know I know. You know I know.
But it would be things. But it would be things that would, you know, like infidelity, and you know, because we were both pretty young. He's older than me, but you know, we were both still in our early 20s.
Did you provide a peaceful home?
I think I did. I thought I did. Cause I mean,
I don't know. I'm asking, did you provide a peaceful? I'm asking, did you provide a peaceful home?
Peaceful. So, what do you mean by peaceful?
Peaceful, meaning not a lot of drama, not a lot of argument, an agreeable, easy to get along with, not asking all these 50 million questions, not nagging, more like, yes, dear. Or were you more like a stereotypical sister? Hold on. You're gonna get your say, you're gonna be heard. You know, if I got something on my mind, you ain't going to sleep until I say what I gotta say. I'm gonna follow your car down the street. Come on, man. You know what peace is.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. I try to be
Did you provide a peaceful home? That's a yes or no, and the answer is no.
Well, that's only when there was situations that we needed to discuss, and I feel like he couldn't be mature enough to just discuss them. If there's topics, I mean, we do have to live together, you know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that have to be discussed as far as parenting and as far as, you know what I'm saying, infidelity and how we want this relationship to play out.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, more often than not, and you got to be honest, many times y'all try to run the relationship like we're your kids versus we're your man.
Yeah.
If he says, and he said, could your man say, and that's final, and the conversation be over?
Yeah.
I'm talking about her, and the answer is hell no. Gentlemen, if you can't say, and that's final, and it's not over, there ain't no peace in that house.
None.
So, ma'am, you can dance around the word. Ma'am, you can. Let's say he cheated. Hold on, ma'am. Let's say he cheated and all this other stuff. Okay, fine. But you can't say that you were raised to be a peaceful, agreeable woman either.
No.
So
I mean, but my mom.
You realize that men cheat. Listen. Men often cheat for femininity, not sex.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, I'm not saying it's always, but I want you to think about what I just said.
So what I really want to ask you, because like I said, like a lot of the stuff you say about us needing to kind of pipe ourselves down as far as what type of, you know, wanting a high powered man and what those type of men really want in a wife. So I actually, you kind of brought me to my senses on that level. Like, you know, as far as getting an average man. Now, I don't know. I live in Texas, so I don't know about the 40,000. That's low even here. But
no, not. I live in Texas for 12 years.
But see, my mom. Well, I was.
Ma'am, listen. If a man can pay, hold on, listen. If he can pay his own rent, his own, if he's self-sustaining, that's all he needs to do. But here's what's gonna happen. You got 2 kids. If the rent is $2,000, you need to pay $1,500. He need to pay $500. He need to pay $500 because you bringing 3 people.
Yes.
I can. That's not gonna happen, but I can understand that because my kid's father, he's in their life and he pays child support. So let's just say I have their $500. Let's just say that. But like I know my mom and my stepdad, they both work for the EPA, and I think they only, well, a piece, they were both retired making like, I think only like $80,000 or $90,000, and they live good. They not living like
80 or 90
you know what I'm
together.
saying.
80 or
No.
90.
No, well, my mom retired making about 90, and my stepdad retired making about 80 something.
Average people. I can't
Yeah,
make.
so that's what's average
Stop.
to me.
Okay,
But you
well,
were
that's not.
saying
No. That's not average. No, man, stop. That's bullshit. It's not average. Your standards are too high.
Oh, so what my mom and them is
Ma'am,
making? That's
middle
not
class
average.
is not $80,000. No.
If I can say something,
Go ahead.
They're not rich.
Go ahead. Stop. Hold on.
I just
Stop.
want
Go
to say,
ahead, man.
like, realistically, just being as a woman with 2 kids, I understand if I get a man who makes 40,000, that's more than what we need.
Yeah.
I'm sustaining me and my kids by myself now.
Man, you got the makeup you have on and stuff like that is all shit you don't need.
Yeah.
All that stuff is adornment. You got all this additional stuff. Did you? What? Did you go to college?
I had to go.
Man, hold on. Did you go to college?
Yes, sir, but I didn't graduate.
Okay. Did you make over $80,000 a year?
No.
So then why, if you ain't making it, why should an average man make it?
No, I'm saying that's what they retired making. So I know, like, you know.
But that's a different generation. They have labor benefits. Okay. This is why I need you ladies to understand.
Yeah.
You got 2 kids.
Not him.
Not him. You ain't making nowhere close to that money. And you have an appetite that you can't afford to pay for. You can't, I mean, them eyelashes and all, you can't afford to pay for that on your own income. That's you taking, if we're gonna be real, we're gonna keep it a stack. You taking some of that child support money and putting it on your face and your body.
I really am not.
Okay, well, my point of the matter is this ain't free. And the point is, okay, let's say you're not, but if a man can pay his own bills, he's fully self-sustaining and sufficient. How come 2 people coming together who can take care of themselves does not improve your situation? Because that means you have one residence.
Right.
It's simple math.
Right.
Anything.
But it's not simple math. It's not simple math because see, a man is supposed to come in and do everything, even if you got somebody else's kids. A man is supposed to come in and do everything. And the thing is, we're not getting virgins. We're not getting young virgins. We're getting women who have other men's fingerprints and DNA in situations, and we got to accept all that and then provide all that. Men ain't doing all that, man.
And you really have enlightened me on that, so I understand it. And my mom has always worked, so I'm not, what I'm saying, shy of saying, okay, maybe it might need to be, maybe 60-40, because they both, my mom and stepdad, they both pretty much made the same money, but my mom still only pays, only did like lights and groceries and like the small stuff for the house and stuff.
Your mom and your stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you when they got married?
I was like 9.
Okay. And how many children did she have?
She has 3.
Okay. Is your mama over 50?
Yes.
Okay. Different generation. Different generation. Men in my generation and above actually got more respect being stepfathers. Today, a stepfather is looked down on because men don't get respect. Biological fathers and husbands don't get respect. Stepfathers. So my point is, if you are a woman today, you are fortunate to have a man, period. A pair of britches in the house. That's what the pandemic showed us. When the world shut down and stopped, all the shit y'all thought that was important wasn't nothing. When you had to go out there to the grocery store and fight over water and toilet tissue, that strong, independent attitude ain't gonna do nothing because you can't do shit about no man. Every other group of women had men, even Hispanic men, Hispanic men make less money than black men, but Hispanic men get far more respect.
Okay,
Y'all need to check y'all's attitude. Well, here's the thing. Y'all need to do nothing. but you're gonna die alone.
And see, I refuse to die alone, so that's why I listen all the time. Even though my mama, she don't be feeling you, because she come from a different time. So
your mama
of course
don't
she
fit, but
raised
the
me
men do.
to.
Your mama, the thing is, your mama may not, but the men do.
Explain to me, like, because it almost be sound. The only thing that I can't get past is it almost sound like, okay, I'm not gonna say settle. I can find a man, you know what I'm saying, that's willing to be a part of my lifestyle of what I already have going. Of course, I already have kids and stuff like that. If I find a man, which I do have a possibility.
What do you want me? What do you want?
I'm sorry.
See.
It almost feel like too, though, you want us to just accept anything. It don't matter about the attitude. As long as I think the only thing I've heard you say is as long as it's not like physical abuse or something like that. But everything else is supposed to just accept.
I do. I want you to accept anything. You're damn right. I want you to accept a man that's a man that is sane, and he is a decent man. I don't care how
you don't think that's what?
No, ma'am. I'll let you speak. I need you to accept the man, or you die alone. Mm-hmm. Man, no disrespect. You got 2 grown mother flipping kids. If the world was the right place, you wouldn't have a man at all. Mm-hmm. You should get no man in life.
But that's like saying people will never make mistakes. Like there's a
no. That's saying you go back and complete the family you started.
He married. He married somebody else.
That's your problem. You should have completed it when you had a chance. See, one of the things we told women to do is just go out and make babies, and then you realize that. Let me tell you something, dear heart. Any man who gets you would be settling.
Yeah.
He'd be settling for you. You got 2 kids.
I mean, even and see, that's where I be battling because it's like.
Well, but you bet. Okay, let me see. Hold on.
It's like a contract. Listen. Like a contract.
No. Stop. Let me reframe all this for you. If we were talking about non-black men, if I snapped all the black men away, would a white man accept you? The average white man.
You mean like the same way you say average for black people?
Yeah, if I snapped all the black men away, could you expect white men, average white men, above average white men, would they come and say, well, sure, Becky or you, yeah, sure, Alex, would white men take you?
Maybe if it wasn't, no.
No.
Okay, would a Chinese man take you? Would Asian men take you?
No.
Would Middle Eastern men, stop. Would Middle Eastern men take you?
No, probably not.
No, because you couldn't come to them with the same thing you come to a black man with. Listen.
Why do you think that is?
Listen. Because we are not beneath you. Your standards is you think black men should accept. Why would you expect a black man to accept what you know a white man, an Asian man, and a Middle Eastern man wouldn't accept?
They don't respect us anyway. I think if I was childless, they wouldn't really, that's just my personal opinion.
Would it be because of your race?
I feel like so.
No, it's not because of your race. It's because of the lack of femininity. It's because of the size. It's because of the attitude. It's because of the way y'all come in as masculine. Men don't reject women on race first. They reject women who lack femininity. And those other cultures have a patriarchy and structure. And this is what I keep trying to get you black men to understand. Black women expect us to accept less than they know that they would have to raise their standards. If we were all gone, they know if they wanted a man, whether they were attracted to him or not, whether they thought white men were just as boring and they know they'd have to up their game because white women ain't gonna just let you come in and take their men. They gonna fight for their men. They gonna compete. Y'all expect us to compete for you. You expect us to settle. Ain't happening.
something I realized a long time ago, like the honor is passed to me. You're not their pride. And really the mindset, I'm owed him. No, you're owed, you're owed him. It's vice versa. Look around. You need him. You really have to like humble yourself, woman. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is, our women don't have to humble themselves because they believe that our culture and the media and everything else, and even the women have told women that we would be lucky to have you in any state. Women in my lifetime, women used to feel some kind of way. We used to be shamed for coming to church, being a single mother. Now you can come to church with 3, 4 different kids, with 4, 5 different men, sit on the front row and scream amen. There's no shame anymore in the Black community. Now men have been saying, all we want is women who are fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, and childless. Women have progressively gotten larger.
But I've never, you're the first and only one to say that.
Bullshit.
I swear.
No, ma'am, I've been 53 years old. We've been saying this for the longest. Y'all just haven't been paying this any attention. Because one thing that started to happen is mixed up. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, the boring dudes are supposed to be your husbands, not your fucking fucked up baby daddies. That's why 54% of Black men are single and childless, 30% of Black men are married, but 80% of Black children are born outside of wedlock. So roughly that means 80% of kids are being fathered by less than 20% of men. It's the 80% of men that don't. It is the large group of men that ain't married and ain't got no kids that have been saying, if you want us to marry you, you got to be this. And what happens? You got to go out there and have somebody else's kid, and then you finally start turning around and looking for Russell Wilson. So and then you're like, well, where they been saying it? They were saying if they were in the chess room, they were in the algebra class, they were in physics. But y'all was calling them corny and lame and goofies and nerds and everything else.
How do we stop this? Because like, it may be too late for me. I may need to just go ahead and.
I'm going to tell you how you stop it. You tell your daughters. You tell your cousins and your nieces that are under 18. You start raising your daughters and your sisters to serve the men of the family, to value the men of the family. If you have children, you say you got 2 boys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, if you got a boy and a girl, you put more resources into your son than your daughter. Women have to start making a difference with the men, with the boys in their home. If you start seeing women start making a difference between their son and daughter, what happened today? In Black women, they coddle their sons and they make their daughters harder. Go to college and do this, and they put the boys in Jordans. No, you put the resources into your boys. Boy Scouts, this, that, martial arts, blah, blah, STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, basketball, football, and all these sports. Put them in math club, chess club, finance. Start building boys that are going to kind of grow into the men, so the daughters will have something to build with. And the reality is a lot of women aren't going to get nobody because nature. Because even if you were ready to do it, the work is so, a lot of women feel like there's too much work to be done. And let's just say it is. You can't ask men to settle because y'all don't want to settle.
And see, that's the thing. I don't mind settling, but it's just like, how can... Because like I have someone that I'm dating, but I tell him all the time, based on watching you, that we need to go to therapy, because I feel like because of his childhood and how he was raised and, other things that, he is kind of messed up emotionally. You know what I'm saying?
And why would you do it?
Then
why would you deal with that?
Oh, well, Kevin, you just said I gotta settle. Who else I'm gonna deal with?
I didn't say you gotta settle for damage. I didn't say you gotta settle for emotional damage. I said you gotta said settle for the stable, boring, average guy. And none of that was emotional damage. Here's what you got to settle for: the guy that don't make you tingle, the short guy, the guy with the little dick who lasts for 30 seconds, the guy who gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning and goes to work and comes home and eats a bologna sandwich and watches the boring ass guy.
And Kevin,
Boring as fuck.
I know I may not look like it, but I've had that before. And those type of men are insecure. And it's like, you know, it causes unnecessary issues.
Insecure meaning what? Insecure about what?
I mean, just like, you know, anything like
No, I don't.
wanna check my phone and I would never have a problem, but it's like if we don't have trust, if you can't trust me to walk out the door without you, like, you know what I'm saying? So it just be,
Man, I'm sorry.
it'd be really hard. And I have really
I'm not
tried.
gonna do this. I'm not gonna let you paint all the average men is insecure. Man, you
I really want to find
Stop. You are what you attract. I'm sorry, I know too many men who don't fit this category. Because everything seems like, well, I'd be willing to accept this or willing to accept that. Well, if you meet somebody who I said is stable, this, that, you said they're insecure. Those aren't the same two men. And if you're dating a man who's insecure checking your phone, why are you going on the third date? If you got a man who needs therapy, this is on you. So you're not gonna paint all men in this category. This is what you call confirmation bias. And why y'all do this, why women like us to do this is because you say, well, they all messed up, so I might as well get one to turn me on or whatever, because no matter what I settle for, something's gonna be wrong with them, so I might as well get good sex or whatever. Fuck all that. No.
No, that's not what's important to me. I really want to have, like you said, I don't.
Have you gone to therapy? Have you gone to therapy? Have you gone to therapy?
Yes, I don't still go, but yes, I
How
have.
long did you go?
For about 2 years.
Okay. How long ago was that?
Probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
So you're saying that you still at this point are not being able to sort through and vet and pick healthy-minded men?
I think I just do not know how to pick, Kevin.
Is your father in your life?
No, sir.
All right. Well, that's a big problem. I can't get into all that, but a big part of why y'all pick what y'all pick too. Because I mean, we're responsible for our choices, man. And I'm sorry, you said you live in Texas, in Dallas? I'm sorry, no, there are too many good men. There's a hell of a lot of good men in Dallas. Hell of a lot of them. Go to Garland.
It is, but they have
shit. I'm not gonna let you put that shit off on my men one more goddamn time. I lived in Garland for too long. Knock it off, man. It's not gonna fly.
Yeah, I live in
It ain't gonna fly here. Go to the
Potter's
Potter's House, go to Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship, go to IBOP, go to Friendship West. There are plenty of good black men in Dallas, Fort Worth.
So
knock that shit off.
I mean, I haven't.
No. You have a good night. Not gonna put that shit off on my men. No, not gonna put that off on my guys. No, absolutely not. I refuse. No. Accountability is like kryptonite, boy. All right, man, your godfather's out of here. Let me see something. Make sure nobody else is in here. Accountability like kryptonite, like, damn, man, they never did shit, man. What's going on? I can't find no dude, man. All right, bye-bye.
Nope, I get mine slow like this. I'm good.